And we're live. What's up, guys? Everyone, welcome back to Love and Golf, a podcast about our romantic, passionate, and sometimes twisted love affair with the game and the valuable lessons it's given us and what we give back to it. Now, you guys, you're no stranger to the podcast. You guys have listened enough. You know that this is where I do the fancy intros, where I read someone's background and you get enamored by who they are and everything. This next guest is a friend of mine, and I think if I did that, it'd be kind of weird. So I'm just going to lead off and just tell you that him and I met in a really unique circumstance, and unique way. We were both starting our businesses, and we were on a collision course on Instagram, and we just collided in the most beautiful way possible. Sonny of Groupchat Golf is I want to bring you on here in a sec, but I'm gonna fluff your pillow a second. You are a genius. You are a creative mastermind, and the things you create on your own and with your group is just outstanding. The level of creative mastery you have in the social media game, which I play, is phenomenal. There's so much that you've done in the world of golf on your own with your partners that have taken the game from where it was to the next level through the pandemic and making it more approachable, making it more fun, and making it more real. So with this episode, I really want to tell your story, Sonny, how golf has inspired you to create Groupchat Golf, how what it's done for you in your current life, your current business, and kind of inspire people around us. Almost use this podcast as kind of like NPR's How I Built This, how you built Groupchat Golf, and how that story can inspire other people. So without further ado, I won't hog the mic. Sonny, welcome to Love and Golf.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here. That was an emotional little thing you got for me there. I love that. And I think it's funny, the way we actually met was making the same meme as each other one time back in the day, literally to the word. And you were like, "Oh, I just made this," and I was like, "I had no idea." It was like a great minds think alike kind of thing, especially in that game. Like, people steal memes all the time, and that's something I would never do. I make my own. So it just so happened that we made the same exact meme, and then it was off and running from there. It was like a small group of guys. We were all tiny at the time, and
I'm still tiny, dude. I'm not like
not at all. And I mean, there's a million accounts out there now. I feel like when we started, there weren't many, and maybe there were. I just didn't know about them. But it seemed like those big guys, and then just like nobody else. Nobody was really making good golf memes back then. So,
audience, you guys, if the listeners can just give us a sec to bro out for one moment, because I'd love to do this. So, I'm in awe, obviously, of the big guys, right? Travis, PJ memes. I want to even Sean with golf ball. Like, those are the OG ones. Like, those are the ones that we like. I've followed since I started playing golf, or the internet came on. Social media became a thing. But yeah, you're right. We were the first few, and then there was a few others like Mike Green. I think he was
Golfer Age and
Golfer Age. Oh my god,
dude, that was that was the beginning days. Meme Caddy just replied to a comment of mine from 6 months ago, 3 days ago. I was like, man, I miss that guy.
Dude, this was pre-pandemic too. I remember where I was and the job that I was working. And this was and I've told this story numerous times, so I don't want to bore people, the power of just starting something, because Mully was in infant stages. We were still interviewing developers, and we were going to get it made. And my business partner, Steve, was like, let's just start the Instagram. You're good at it, Mike. You just go and do it. And I was like, okay. And at the time, and dude, I kind of want to talk about this too, the evolution of social media, where it was when we started, and where it is now. Because I want to get your take on it. Because from this episode, guys, anyone out there listening, Sonny and I are both entrepreneurs. We both come at it from different angles, right? We're both different creators. We're both different minds. We're both different everything. But there's a power in starting. So if there's a takeaway from this episode and from his story, I really want it to be just start. Don't worry about how it looks. Don't worry about what you do. Just fucking start. So that's what we did on ours. And then we'll get to you. I just started Instagram and was like, hey, I'm going to do, and I was inspired by kind of Malbon back in the day. But this is even before they were what they are now with all the apparel. They just did nostalgia. So I took the Malbon approach of nostalgia, 90s golf. And I took what Travis and PJ Meme was doing, the funny aspect of it. And it was just, and I just slammed those two worlds. And all of a sudden you had Mully. And you, dude, you were, I think when I started, I was at 1,000 when we met, and you were 8,000. Dude, this how long ago it was,
Yeah.
And now you're 140, 150. You're up there. You're up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, it's crazy. So things were a lot, even back when we started, things were a lot different. There was this hack where you could be a private account and people would have to follow you because they could see where the post came from. And I was I mean, I was getting 10,000 followers every 20 days at one point. And then once that stopped, it's just like, it's a whole different game now. They want different things and everything. But I mean, just being able to build that community. And I think that we both know that that's like the most important part of all this was that the community first. And that's how every day when I wake up, the first thing I do is I grab my phone, I check my comments, I start posting memes or making memes, and it's all day. It's an all day affair. It's all day, every day.
Yeah.
But it's great because, you know, we love what we do.
So let's rewind the clock before that, and then we'll catch it up, right? We'll do like you have the snapshot, you know who he is, you know what he does, you know the company that behind it. So Sonny though is a man, you know I've seen your golf swing. You're incredible. You're great. You're good. So golf must have been in your DNA early. So let's so again to continually try and thread the whole conversation to the motto of the podcast. And I told you this offline, and I think this is why you're on here because you know you got your own podcast, and we're trying to be different. You know, mine, Love and Golf, is about love and golf, like the relationship we have with the game. And I refer to it as this muse. Golf is a muse. It's like a relationship you have, you know, with anyone or anything. And I think it's so funny because golf, we all have this relationship with the same goddess, the same muse, but it gives us all something different. Maybe variations of the same thing, but it's still different. So take us through how you first met the goddess golf and what she's given you and kind of how like the early stages of that relationship.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful way to put it. First off, that's because we all do. It all started. We all had our own start. You know, we all have a different day-to-day relationship with it. But Little League baseball was my life when I was younger. My city was really good where I grew up in Rhode Island, and it was I practiced 2 days, 2 times a day all summer, my whole like 8 to 12 years old. And
spring ball, fall ball,
all I had was baseball. And then when I got done with Little League, I was still tiny. I caught my whole life. I was a catcher. I was like way smaller than everybody else. Luckily, I ended up being over 6 feet, so it worked out nice. But thankfully, it happened later because when I switched to the big field, I just got everybody stole on me every single time there was somebody on first because I just couldn't throw it. I couldn't make the throw. I was too small. Mm-hmm. So one of my buddies was like, "You want to start trying golf?" And it's actually a really nice little par 3 course that caters to like inner city kids in Providence. They let you do a $25 class. You learn about etiquette, whatever else, a little bit about the golf swing, and then you play for $1 till you're 18 every 9 holes. So I was in right off the bat. When I was 13, my mom and his mom, they would just drop us off in the morning at like 8 o'clock. We would play until the sun came down and maybe cost us $5 for the day. They would give us money. They'd come pick us up at night. And it was, for me, I was addicted to it immediately. Which I think everybody is that hits, it only takes one shot. It really does. It's such a true saying. But from there, it was like, then I was like, I want to play in some tournaments, and I got serious about it. I started practicing. My first job at 15 was at a golf course, picking range balls and for a free membership, and played in high school, thought about playing in college. I ended up going to school for professional golf management instead. I wanted to be a pro at a golf course. I thought maybe the golf industry was for me. I did that, was an assistant pro for 3 years. Lost my love for the game. I really did. I was there 70 hours a week, and when I played, it was like you got to go play with these members, and I just couldn't enjoy it the way that I like to enjoy it. Which obviously, and anybody that follows the page knows we're kind of laid back about it, And I spent plenty of years getting mad at bad shots and all that, but once you realize, that that's not what it's about, that relationship totally changes. So I took a few years off, really. I probably went a couple of years just playing 1 or 2 times in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. And then I ran my family business for maybe 4 or 5 years, which was dry cleaning and tailoring. And hated that too, but started to get back into golf at the time. And I've always been addicted to memes. And then Groupchat Golf brought me right back into golf, the whole world. And yeah, man, there's not a day that goes by that I don't want to play golf. And I can't play golf up here in the winter, but it's such a big part of my life. I'm passionate about it. It really is a passion. I think a lot of people share that too, even if it's like a low key passion. It's like that one thing that you have that's always there, and no matter how it goes, it's just a day with golf in it is the day you look forward to every week.
But homie, so and I'm going to commend you on that. That's amazing. And I know what you both have watched it. I've literally watched it week by
Mm-hmm.
week by week. You just skipped a massive part though that I want to help people understand is you launched Group Chat Golf as like an escape almost, as in a creative outlet.
Yep.
Like, take me through that, man. I mean, I know we've talked about that and I know a little bit about it, but I mean, like, I don't want people to think, oh, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do this now and it's going to pay all my bills, because that's not how it goes.
No, I was, once I realized that I hated the dry cleaning tailoring business, my parents actually got divorced, which kind of like put me in a tough situation with the business because my dad just left. And then, I went through a really bad breakup at the time and I was struggling.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I was just like, what can I do to just drown out everything else? And I started Group Chat Golf. I actually called it World Golf Memes at the beginning, and I changed it like a weekend. This was maybe with a couple of days left in 2019, so December 2019, right before COVID hit. And then in 2020, I started going hard. I posted 6 to 12 times a day, really, for the first year. But it was, I didn't really know. I was like, maybe I owned a tailor shop. I knew how to sew. I was like, maybe I'll sell head covers or something. But I thought the important part was like building a base of people that care about us first, like a community, you know, like that care about Group Chat Golf before I just put a product in somebody's face. You know, you got to build that, because it's tough to, you know, on social media, once you're just putting a product out there, the growth is not going to be there, you know? So like you said before, I think I just took the approach of just fucking post all day, every day. Just post, respond to comments, respond to DMs, you know, meet people. And I remember thinking at one point, like, nobody must see a DM when you have 10,000 followers, you know, like those people must never see my DM. Like if you DM somebody you think is famous, like once you get that K, and then you get there and you're like, I see everything that happens. I see every comment that goes on my page. Like, you really don't miss. And I can understand it, you know, as you grow, there are definitely times where I put my phone down for a couple hours and I'll miss some stuff. But yeah, a good entrepreneur, I think, just understands like that it matters to be an actual human and the face of the business and be that person that's there all the time. And yeah, it's just, that was my escape for a year. And I kind of just didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was like, I'll figure it out down the road. At first it was the idea of head covers. And then I was like, I'm kind of addicted to this growth thing now and just building a bigger community. So I just focused on posting. We started the podcast, I think in June of 2020. We had about 30,000 followers at that time. That was 6 months in. And then Chubba, I got Chubba on, who's my best friend from college, where we actually
legend.
Actually in college, we hardly knew each other. I was there for 2 years. We met. Was never a school person. I just have a business brain. I don't like school. It never gave me much. And I met him like one time at Coastal, and we played catch one day with a baseball, and we just like we didn't see each other for years after that. And then somebody in our school started a group chat with my 8 best friends from college, and that's where I got the name Group Chat Golf, because those are like guys I talk to every day. And Chubba came on. He wrote a blog, and we started the podcast, and then, you know, now we make our little videos, and he's like my back end, keeps me organized. Like I'd awesome. Be nothing without him. I know the content side of it, but you know, he's the one that's like putting stuff on calendars and, you know, sending texts to the rest of the podcast, like what time are we meeting tomorrow? Like he's that guy for us. So
yeah, you have quite the crew there. I mean, I remember you invited me on to talk about Mully as we launched, and it was more of a hangout than it was actually like a podcast. So it was rad, dude. I loved it. And I want to go back a second and make sure that I compliment you on, Sonny. There's so many, as you alluded to earlier, there's so many accounts now. There's just so many people trying to do this or that, or content creators, influencers, meme accounts. It doesn't matter. But, and this is something I think you and I hit on, and I'll give you all the credit on this. I think we do it really well because I played golf in the 90s growing up. You played golf growing up. Like, you can't create an account now in the golf space if you don't have that, like, I've been there. Like, I know that, you know, that there's like a language within the culture and the subculture. Yeah. And if you don't speak it, brother, you're not going to go far right away. And that's why I'm so fascinated about the amount of content you put out, whether it's through, you know, graphic memes or videos. You speak the language and understand the culture so well that there's just so much within it
Yeah.
that it just never gets stale. So, I mean, and as someone in that world too, and I've done it, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like you guys do a phenomenal job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it helps that I've seen it from every angle, from, a junior to working at a golf course, picking balls, parking carts till 9:30 at night, sitting in the pro shop all day, giving lessons, playing every day. Like I've worked at every kind of course. And sometimes when I'm making a meme, the way I do it is like, okay, in my head, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive to the golf course and play out a golf day, like really quick. And then as soon as I think of something that's meme worthy on that drive or on that first hole or getting, anything, it's picking those little nuances of the game that you might think you're the only one that ever felt that way, but you're not. It's usually not the case. So when you put that out into a meme and you see people can relate to it, and relatability obviously is the most important word in what we do. It feels good. It feels good.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And it also helps that you have one of the most relatable golf brand names, the Groupchat Golf. If you're a golfer, there's a 99.67% chance that you have a Groupchat Golf thread. Yep. And I know I did. And it's funny, I was talking to Ian at one of the co-founders of Sugarloaf, and he started Sugarloaf. And basically, it was a group of them, with his buddy from college, and it was a group chat, and they did an annual golf trip. I'm like, that's what I did. I had a group chat, and then we had golf, and it's just funny that that's branded into your name.
Yeah, and I didn't always even know we were going to keep that name, because at first it was like Groupchat_golf_memes. It was like a big thing. Well, a couple of months ago when we hit 150K, I texted Chubba one morning, and I was like, yo, I think I'm going to change the name to just Groupchat Golf today, because I had been like saving it for a while because I wanted to change it. But making those changes once you start growing, you don't like to do that too much. But it was like I needed to do it. It's just so much cleaner that way. I didn't want to be, because Instagram also wants videos now, so I didn't want to be known as just memes. And we started covering events, and like we just wanted to be more of a broad name there.
Smart move.
Yeah, just you got to do what you got to do.
So let's talk about that for a second. I'm curious. I'm going to learn from you right now, live as we talk. Dude, I should say we, because there's a team of us here at Mully. We have been increasingly grown more frustrated with Instagram. We have dabbled, I'm just started working on TikTok with a younger guy, because I'm a little bit older, dude. I'll be honest, guys, like I can't keep up with that world. It's so fast, and the trends and the hashtags and the trending audio. It's moving so fast. And I really want to focus on the internal marketing, what we're doing. But I'll just speak to Instagram for a sec. When we started, there wasn't a lot of emphasis on video. Mm-hmm. You could get away with memes and hashtags, and like you said, that the hack of the going private.
Yeah, they didn't even have Reels yet then. Reels didn't even exist 3 years ago.
So how are you guys growing? Like, because I'm sure there's accounts out there like Mully, because we've hit a wall. We don't focus a lot on the video side of things. We're trying to remind people of the marketplace and what we're doing. But like, if you were coaching me and then having people listen to this too, where are you leaning on? How are you finding growth? Because obviously we all want to reach the audience and grow our communities.
Mm-hmm. So I think with all of, and this goes for TikTok too, actually, but it's not. They're just rewarding good content now with the Reels. If you make good content, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it's going to get out there, which is nice, because what they do is they like take your thing, they put it in with Reels and TikTok, they put it in a pool of say 100 people that are interested in whatever you're making it about. Then if it does well within that 100, they put it into a bigger bowl, and if it does well there, they keep putting it in these bigger bowls. Whereas, before it was like, if you have followers, then your videos would do well. If you don't, they don't. Like, it's actually harder for us now as we're bigger accounts to get into those bowls. Like, I don't have posts that go off very often like I used to, where they just go and go and go. Like, once in a while we'll have a meme that'll get a couple million views, but even for an account our size, it's just they're really cracking down and wanting people to make content, like not memes. They want people, actual like content creators making videos and whatever else. But I think at the end of the day, if you post once a day because I run other Instagram accounts now too, and they pay me to run, do however many posts a day. And I've seen that if you post once a day, you're not going to grow at all, ever. You just won't, unless you are like,
So what's your recommendation? How many times? What's the good? What's the good amount?
I think with 3+
A day per day.
Yeah. So obviously you're
Oh,
not going to be able
wow.
to put out 3 reels a day or something of like original content, but you can, golf course, if you're in the golf, golf photography, memes, whatever, just kind of supplement. But I think like the videos, obviously it's where it's at. Like my mom, for instance, actually, she started being a content creator after she saw what I did, and she went through her divorce and she helps people through breakups. She's got more followers than I do, like on TikTok and Instagram. She just started like 2 months ago. She got like 18,000 followers. She posts two reels a
Wow.
day and one quote, and she's been growing probably 1,500 to 2,000 followers a week. And she posts like feel good content. Literally, she sits in front of her phone and talks to people that are going through a breakup. So I think,
Oh my God.
yeah,
I'm first of all, I love that because if you follow my personal one, I'm all about
yeah,
self-development, all that
absolutely.
stuff. So, I mean, I want to talk to you offline about that because I think that's amazing. But usually I think you hit the nail on the head too. I've seen it because sometimes we'll post and it's like, it's really about we're trying to show people some new product that our users have uploaded, right? And like it's not there's no reason to share it really. It's just a notification of we're trying to reach our audience of 25,000 people plus and just say this is what we're doing. And you're right, if it doesn't take off within the first 100 people that see it, you're dead.
Done.
It's
Yeah.
just going to go to like purgatory zone and you're going to impressions fall off. So you're right. I mean, I hope I guess my hope for people out there too, because that's a lot of pressure, man. Like when you're making stuff, like you're almost now making content with the expectation it's got to reach the first 100 and then 200 versus I'm just going to make something because I like it and that's it, which is kind of like the ethos of how we started, and that's really changed.
Yeah.
Like, that's really changed.
That's why I think it's important to just. I was even watching a thing with like I like Gary V. I think he spreads a good message, which I like. He gets people to try to do shit, which is what I want everybody to do, especially like being successful in what we do. It's like it can be done, and if you put in the time and you're consistent, it can definitely be done. So just like posting a lot, and it's like if you post 2 posts a day or one, even like the odds of one going off are slim, but if you post 10 a day even, and you're reposting other people's
Just keep it
whatever,
going.
and it doesn't even have to be your own. Like I see people will post my memes like and they'll just be smaller accounts and they'll just get tons and tons and tons of views and likes, and it's just like, damn, mine got 50,000 views and theirs has 3 million, and then it's on their page, and I made it. But it's like it's like a timing thing. There's so many things it depends on with Instagram. It's so unpredictable that if you just have to put out more and more. It's like you got to be a machine.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, and plus there's that focus on being a content creator. As I get older in my life, I mean, I was a graphic designer, like I'm using air quotes, because I had to use Photoshop for jobs, and as an entrepreneur, I had to learn it to make logos and stuff for my companies because we didn't have budget. So I learned that trade. And now I'm the old dog at 38. I'm the old dog, and now I'm seeing younger guys come on the scene who are making reels. Like, would honestly, dude, I'm not, no joke, you guys. I think it would take me an hour to 2 hours. It's taking them 10 minutes. I'm like, how the hell did you make this in 10
Dude,
minutes?
it takes us so long to make our videos. It's hilarious. A group of 30 to 35-year-olds sitting in a room trying to figure out how to put videos together. Like it's crazy. And I'm constantly liking videos on Instagram and TikTok just to remember like the style of them, because it's like, damn, that's a good video, and like good content when you see it. And it's like our videos, even like those little infomercial things we make, like they're funny, but the quality of how they're made is so bad. That's why like we'll get better.
That's why they're
We'll
good.
get better at that stuff. Yeah. But it's just like,
By the way, I'm still waiting for my eBay.
yeah, I know. We got to make one for you. Yeah.
Still waiting for that.
We're going to be in the warm. We got some warm weather coming up, so maybe we'll try to film one while we're in Scottsdale.
I didn't forget about that. Trying to make this as beneficial and useful for the listeners. I do want to say one thing now that you're here, because I may have a note right here on my whiteboard. The power of community, right? I got so golf, the muse, the goddess that she is, right? So it's given me so much. It's given you so much. Look at our livelihoods. Look at our businesses. I'd be remiss to say if I didn't honestly give proper credit to the power of the community. And like that, it's not just golf. I think when you are like us, when we cross paths, I don't know in other industries, I can't speak for any in other industries, but like if you, let's just for a second assume we were in, garment business. We were just designers in fashion. If we made the same kind of meme, I don't know if like maybe there's be more butting of heads, maybe people would more, their, feathers would be ruffled and you'd be like, get the fuck out of here, blah, blah. But dude, honestly, we did that and it was like, oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. No, my bad. And it was like, oh, dude, you're a golfer. I'm a golfer. We're good. Like, don't worry. And like, bro, that happens all the time. And the power of the community. I had a conversation the other day. What's the saying? Is a rising tide raises all ships, right? That's it. Like a rising tide, like elevates all ships. And I love seeing my friends, you and others succeed in this world because we all have each other's back, and like, that's something that the golf community has, right? Like you're winning. And I should like abundance is abundant, right? Just because you're winning doesn't mean I can't win. And like we all have each other's back in a way. And I got to thank you publicly right now. Like you have, out of the kindness of your heart, have helped us and Mully with some giveaways and doing some fun things in the ecosystem to get our user base up. And brother, like I want to thank you. And that's me just being honest. And you and the boys at Groupchat Golf have been so supportive of everything we're doing, and likewise. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this community. So I don't know if you want to speak on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys even having me on today. I felt famous coming on here. But yeah, man, it's like I've never had more friends in my life, and they're all, because now and we all love the same thing. Like we're going out to Scottsdale for the waste management, playing in a tournament with probably 30 other golf accounts that are playing in it, and we all talk. Everybody talks whenever there's some kind of, if somebody's coming in to do, an ad or something, and they're like, oh, do you know any other accounts that can do it? People are referring people, and I've never, I kind of keep to myself in my personal life. I've never, especially like, I've never really even been a huge fan of where I live in Rhode Island, but I love my family, so that's why I'm here. But it's like everybody, you don't know, you think in the golf world, and especially I think when I was younger, this was a thing. I didn't enjoy meeting golfers. I thought they were all douchey, like just not good. Like I met a lot of just like stuck up golf guys, and I hated that culture, but it's such a different culture now that it's like everyone you meet is cool, and chill, and they like understand, like they just get it. I think there's two kinds of people in the world. There's people that get it and then people that don't. And it's like everybody that I run to in this community, they just get it. And they always want to help. Everybody's been so open about like what they charge for things, and like, how much they're getting paid for this ad and that ad, and who helped them get what, and answering DMs. I mean, you think these people, I came in, I had a couple thousand followers, and like people are reposting me and the big accounts responding to DMs, and it's just like that. Really? Like, is this how this is going to be? And it's exactly how it's been ever since. And it's like, it's the coolest thing that I've ever been a part of. It really is. Hands down.
Wow. And then, so I'd have to agree with you, dude. It is one of the coolest things. Cause I always loved golf. I always played a lot of golf. I never thought golf would be my livelihood. As someone who's working in sales his whole life and starting other businesses and as an entrepreneur in other verticals, I was like, golf's just going to be my sport that I escape to. And I don't know how you feel about it, but the fact that I'm marrying both worlds of finance, passion, and fun, it's actually quite beautiful, and I enjoy it.
It is, and I, like I said, I was in the business for a long time, 8-9 years before I got out of it, and I thought that was it as far as that went. I never knew that there would be this new angle that I could take to be in the golf business and surround myself with it every day and actually enjoy doing it. I never thought that would be possible, and here we are, literally a couple years later.
So what's next for you guys? What are you working on? How does the brand extend into 2023 and to other endeavors?
I think video content will be a big thing for us in the future. We have a tough time with that in the winter because we're in the north.
For sure.
We are going to continue doing events, which really help us out and get the community together, and kind of makes it a little easier for us to just keep pumping out content and make better content. So we would love to have events all over the country. I think that's we've kind of been like ironing it down over the past few years, doing small ones around here, seeing if people are interested and if they have a good time, and they're all a great time, and they fill up, and it's worked. And that's what other people's business model is too. I think if anybody is in the golf world or trying to get into this realm and have a following, it's a great way to get people together. And it is a business at the end of the day. The first couple of years, mostly just posting 10 memes a day for free. But at this point, it's like I'm putting in so much time, and it's like you got to figure out how to monetize it somehow. I think tournaments are a huge way to do that. And we want to start our own brand as far as clothing and stuff goes. Me and Chubba are really into wearing cool shit and disrupting, not disrupting the game in a disrespectful way, but in a way that like it's just a little bit more normal, and I always view, if any of the videos you see me and I'm wearing probably the loudest shirt on the golf course, and we'll figure out some, streetwear kind of stuff, just us. We want to keep the brand totally us, but yeah, I think it'll be in the future more videos, tournaments, and trying to get a line of clothes out there. I think Golf Gods has one of the best business models out there. I think and I know that they were just on a podcast recently that they're making a ton of money, apparently. And they're a big account. They have over 500,000 followers, but they sell. You go on their website, man, they sell literally everything you can think of that's golf related, from clothes to bags to drinking, like shotgun tools to wedges, putters, the dick putter that they make. Like literally everything you can think of that's golf related, they're selling it, and they have a large following. So it's like walking into a golf galaxy that's a little more, laid back.
Interesting. Yeah. So you mentioned future of your company. Now let's pivot this to the future of golf for a bit, because I know you're definitely, with all due respect, you're definitely on one side of the fashion and the tradition of it. I'm not going to say we want to get rid of it and just abolish it, but there's obviously the more traditionalists who are more conservative, tuck in your shirt, wear the proper stuff, hat, all that. And then there's maybe, let's say you, right, who's like, collars are for, country clubs only, and let's just untuck it and have fun and wear tennies and whatever, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, where do you feel like the future of golf? And I'm not just talking about professional golf. I'm talking about just golf, right? Because it's exploded. Like always, we've seen it. We started pre-pandemic. Both of our accounts have benefited, and our businesses have benefited from the influx of new golfers through the pandemic, and now we're here, right? 2023. Where do you think golf goes, just from a pop culture standpoint in the game? What do you think?
I don't think it's ever going to get smaller. I don't think it's going to go away. I think there's going to be courses that hold on to the past and the way that it, like tuck in your shirt, don't wear your hat inside, proper attire, which I have no problem with, no music, all that stuff, keep your phone in your bag, whatever. I think there are going to be those courses. I think in a couple of years, there's going to be courses that are flaunting the fact that they're not that kind of course. And I think that there's room for both of it, because sometimes it is nice going to a golf course where you need to get dressed up, you need to look good, and you need to, watch your step when you're walking around. People are like, who's this, who's that? And I also love playing shoeless, So I think there's a place for both of it. I think as time goes on, I think courses will start to pick a side. But
you can't. You don't think you could do both at the same place?
I mean, like it is now, I guess. Kind of. I guess kinda. You could, but I think that some places will benefit from saying, hey, no shirt, no shoes, no problem. Come on and play. Because there's really not any courses, not around me anyway. I know it might have been a little different on the West Coast, but I'm from New England. There's nowhere you can go that they're just cool with you wearing around here, like playing shoeless or shirtless even. Like you see those guys, remember that was how big it was when the, Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas and those guys were down in the Caribbean playing in bathing suits. Yeah. It was like, that looks like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Granted, I would burn to shit. I probably wouldn't do that. But just to have the option, But I don't want the old school golf to go away. I think it has its place, and I think people can learn from it. It's what taught me, a lot of, respect and stuff like that in my life. But as I got older, just like, as you just care about things a little bit less, and it's like when I golf and then you start thinking about it, like when I was playing in high school, I was wearing slacks and like dress shoes with spikes on the bottom, and it's like a sport, So I always thought that was a little bit weird, and now I just But like I said, I think there's room for everything. I do think that places will flaunt it more in the future of what kind of course they are, because they can now. They didn't used to have to say we're this kind of golf course because there was only one kind, but now it's a different culture, and I think places will benefit from being like, hey, you come here, you do whatever you want. You respect the golf course always. No cart flipping. You fix your divots, your ball marks, all that stuff always, every single time.
Cart flipping.
Yeah. But you can come here and you can play your music and, and you can wear what you want and whatever. And I think that's good for the game because, a lot of people do say like, oh, we don't need to. There's a shrink the game. There's a actual, there's people on Instagram that will hashtag shrink the game. And it's like, why though? It's so beautiful. I want everybody to experience it and have a relationship with it. Just like you said, their own relationship. I like the fact that everybody's relationship can be different. So
yeah, I agree with you. So as a recap, trying to hone us all in here for a sec. So dude, first of all, I want to thank you for the transparency into group chat golf, your path, your story, and your personal life. Obviously, if you've listened up to this point, there's a lot that the game has given you, Sonny, and your life from a financial standpoint and from just a business adventure standpoint. Here's the $1 million question, because obviously you give back to it in your creative gifts, right? Obviously, you're putting smiles on people's faces, and I believe you're the opposite of shrink the game, because you're making the game more approachable, even to those who don't have the nostalgic language down pat yet. There's a fun element to what you do in making golf, part of people's lives. And what other ways are you giving back to the game through your creations, or I know events? Anything else you're doing to give back to the community?
I actually, when you sent me, we talked about this a little bit before. When you sent me this, it was like an eye opener for me. That it's like I know that I'm doing my thing, but I also feel like maybe not enough. And I have had thoughts of like things that we want to do to give back, if you will, because I feel like a lot of people that give back to the junior programs and all that stuff, like they're kind of just giving back to those. They're not really putting golf in new people's hands, right? And I learned in a place where, at Buttonhole, I'm going to give them a shout out in Providence, Rhode Island, where they let kids play for $1 because there's not a lot of golf in the city. It's just not a thing. And when you're able to bust kids out of the city and show them a sport as beautiful as golf, I think that's awesome. So I think we kind of have this like idea that we want to try to get that more of that around, where there is money going into programs in cities to get kids out of the city for a day to go play some golf. And I've actually tried to contact the local YMCAs in Rhode Island to try to set something up in the past, and I haven't been able to. There's been no interest, which I think is crazy, but I'm sure somewhere, if we move to maybe Boston or something, there might be a place, or, as we start to look more into it, but I haven't done enough. But I did say that I do know people who play golf because of me, because they've seen my 100%. Life unfold with the game. And that makes me happy because a lot of those people love it now. And I think if I can give this to people and just show them how, because everybody needs an outlet, and the older you get, the less you have, like you can't go play football, or you can play baseball, basketball, soccer, whatever, but you can get hurt at our age. We're not young anymore, so totally. It's like it's almost not worth it to do some of those things. Man, it's zen out there. It's like it's chill. If you let it be chill, it's very chill on the golf course. So I just think it's a beautiful outlet, and everybody. There's so much stress in the world today. It's everywhere. Everybody's plagued with it. All you wake up, you think about bills, this, that. The world is hard. And to have 4 hours and to not think about it with like some good people, I think that's a beautiful thing. And not many people have that, So I would like to give that to as many people as I can. And that's why I try to make it accessible and funny. So people can be like, oh, maybe golf's not that bad, Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. You definitely, like I said, have that lighter approach to golf, because golf, at least when I was growing up, man, like if it wasn't for my dad and have him being like kind of like my gatekeeper pathway into this world, right? I wouldn't have done it. It's so intimidating. It's so scary.
It still is. I still walk into pro shops like I'm walking on eggshells, and still to this day, it feels like I need to impress the guy behind the counter. Like that's how it feels,
100%.
And that's not a great feeling.
Yeah. But going back, man, I'd love it. I don't know if you know this, but we're doing on Mully's on, you heard like Tom's shoes, like you buy one, you give one. So like what we're doing, cause we had the same thought, like, how do we give back, but really give back, not just like a blank donation or like, so I remember, this is my cousin's idea, my business partner, Mully, he had to go, he didn't come from like an affluent background really. So when he took up golf, it was just too expensive, and I sympathize with that. So he had to go like into the woods and look for golf balls, like hunt for golf balls just to keep playing. And I was like, fuck, I never really thought about that. I mean, I'm really fortunate to have my upbringing and being able to have golf being provided for me. But like golf balls are expensive, dude. And when you're starting out and you suck, guess what? Guess the first thing you're losing? Golf balls.
Yep.
So we were like, how do we help kids get golf balls? So I bring it full circle. If you and the boys at Groupchat Golf want to help with the distribution of it, I love your support, because for every transaction on Mully, here's a shameless plug. If you use Mully and you buy something or sell something, Mully's going to donate golf balls to kids, to youth golfers. So if you want to help with the distribution of that, man, because your outlet's massive. So there's probably so many golfers, kids that are following you for that mentality, that side of it. We'd love your help with that, man. So I'm not sure if that's
now I can start giving back. So now that you opened my eyes, see?
There you go. But yeah, no, you're completely right, bro. It's an intimidating world. And how do we, it's our job. It's like, what was someone, I think it was Cole who told me this. He was like, I'm gonna fuck this up. It was like the gatekeepers for whatever. Fuck, Cole, I'm sorry, but I just ruined that for you. But we are now the conduit. We're the ones who are trying to help the next generation get into golf. And I think what you're doing is making it not seem so stuffy, that there is a lighter side to it, is not only wanted, it's actually needed, like absolutely needed.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, and I know that a lot of guys don't want girls on the golf course, and I think, to each their own, but like, you know how tough it would be for a girl to walk up to a golf course and just like go play golf and have a good time? Like, that's just not going to happen. From the time they get out of their car to walking in the pro shop, every single person at a golf course, guys are judging them for being there and being like, this person shouldn't be there. And I don't like that. Everybody should be okay at the golf course. So that's why I think that's kind of in the thing where it's like why I believe in the wear what you want, because then you can't get looked at differently for walking in,
It's almost kind of like state rules, right? Like each golf course has its own rule. And it's like, okay, if you don't like the rules in the state, go to a different state, move. If you don't like the rules of this golf course, go to a different golf course. So I think you're actually right. Having different golf courses that fit different personas, different people is actually a good thing versus the blending of it all, because you're going to have people within the space not honoring the space.
Yep. Yeah, and having both is like, because there are rounds where I want to go out and play music, and we're I say play music, and that's just a broad term for all the things that you want to do for those rounds, But then there's the rounds where I want to like put my head down and try to score well, and that usually like happens at those nicer golf courses where they force you to dress up a little extra and be a little bit more, it's a little more uptight, and that kind of puts you in that frame of mind where it's like, okay, I guess I'll have one of those days today where I'll try to grind it out and play well.
Sonny, I'm pretty sure you just coined a new like slang term within the golf culture. Say, do you want to play music today? Yeah, I want to play music today.
There's two kinds of rounds, with music and without.
Hey, do you want to play music today? Oh, we are going to play some music today.
Blast it today.
So before we wrap, bro, I wanted to ask you a couple more questions, and we'll close with some thank yous, because I think it's really important to make sure everybody that's part of our journey to know how thankful and grateful we are for them. Yeah. So first question, we're going to do 2 questions in the thank you. So first question, I call it the what's your green jacket. So when I was a kid growing up, I had 3-footers on the practice green, and that 3-footer was to win the green jacket. Mm-hmm. And as I've grown up and I realized how I'm not going to play at the Masters, I still have that like moment of like, what's my green jacket? What am I working towards? What is my inspiration? Like, what is that? Because the green jacket is proverbial, so what's your green jacket?
Golf in the game of golf still? Do you mean, or just like in
life, in your life within Groupchat Golf? Give it to me.
Within Groupchat Golf, I think hitting 1 million followers has always been my goal, and it was way more. It felt easier at the beginning when I was growing so fast, and it's gotten harder now, which makes me want to do it even more. But just having that big of a community, and like sometimes when I'm at the golf course, people will see me and say something who I don't know. And that feels good that the messages that I send out in the form of memes every day are getting to people I don't know. And I like being able to make an impact. Even like I post tweets from my personal account, and they'll go on. Zaire will repost them, and they'll get a lot of. I like being able to put. I like my idea of golf, and I like being able to give that to people.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I think just having that. That's what I work toward every day when I make a meme. It's like when someday we'll hit 1 million. But in my golf game specifically. My lowest score ever is 5 under 67. I've shot it twice, and I would really hate for my lowest score ever to have already happened. So, because I'm more into golf now than I ever have been, and those scores are my past. So I think my real green jacket is to get there again, and I want to shoot a 66 or 6 under. That's my green jacket now for golf. And I don't know if it'll ever happen because I don't take it as
It's
serious
inside
as
of
I
you.
used to. But
It's in there.
some days you just have it. Everybody knows it. Some days almost everything is there, and those are good days. Yeah. So maybe one day, maybe on the same day, who knows? Maybe I hit 1 million and I go play golf all day. And then,
dude, that'd be epic. That'd be like, we hit 1 million. Let's go play golf. I shot a 65. Oh my god. Let's go to Vegas. Hurry.
That would be the next move for sure.
So as a golfer of the same generation, brother, like I remember my first golf club. I mean, obviously I had my dad's hand-me-downs, Ping I2s, Orange Dot. I had a couple other hand-me-downs. But my club, my nostalgic club was the Titleist 975D. I got it from as a gift, Christmas gift from my dad. I had the I forget that green shaft. Do you remember that green shaft? It was the green one, like the EI something.
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about because there was high school for me was like the K. The K was big when I was in high school.
Yeah, I'm a couple years older than you. Yeah. So here's the question. So I've seen in Mully in the marketplace, there's like a rise. I'm sure you've seen this with the memes in your world. The rise of the 90s golf, like just tied, right? And there's everyone going crazy for the vintage Scott H. Williams, Mizuno Tezoids, right? All those like the 90s golf. What was the first club? Here's the question. What was the first club, your first club? Not like a hand-me-down, but like Sonny's first club that meant the most to you. Do you remember what that club was?
My R7, TaylorMade R7 was definitely, I think I was a senior in high school when that thing came out. And me and my buddy.
That was like one of the first adjustable ones, right? That was
the first. Yep. I loved that thing. So I would buy it today. If there was a new one out there, and I would buy it in a second. But in the same year when I started to get a little more serious in high school, because I had women's, I was small. Remember, I was a tiny kid and I just had a women's set for most of like half of high school. And I was like on varsity golf playing with women's clubs. And I was and I got a set of Cobra. They were like huge cavity backs. The back of them were almost rubber. I can't remember what they were, but I had a set of Cobras that I just loved with everything I had, and that R7 driver just made me feel so cool. Because I think that might have been the first adjustable driver that came out from anybody at the time, and it was cool. It was had some yellow on the bottom with some red, and just like I didn't know anything about clubs back then. I was just like, I need that one. And my parents got it for me at the time. And it was like, I'll never forget that. That was and now actually I have a Callaway Razor, low key, probably my favorite club I've ever had. My 3-wood, I have a Callaway Razor Hawk 3-wood that I got when I was on staff at the golf course back when I was an assistant pro, which was the best time ever. Cause if you want free golf shit, go be an assistant pro or something, because it's the best. I've had that.
Or have a golf account with 150,000 followers.
I can't find anybody to get. I can't find anybody. It's impossible. I guess my memes are too edgy or something. I don't know. But I have a Callaway Razorhawk 3-wood that I've had since 2011. It's still in my 3-wood in my bag. So I think low key.
Dude, I remember that. Yeah, the Hawkeye. There's a Hawkeye.
Yeah, I think it went like. I've actually played a lot of Callaways in my day, and that's what I ended up on staff with. But I had like the FT5, and then I got the FT9, and then I think I went to the Razorhawk, then whatever else they had after that I think I just got rid of when I bought a Titleist last year. I don't buy many new clubs.
Yeah. Dude, that new Titleist though, the Tilt TS line, TSR, and I had the T.
I have a TS in my bag right now.
Yeah, that thing's a beat stick.
Yeah, but I also I hit an what was that when the sim came out? That first sim, I remember hitting one, and I never saw a ball go so far so fast off my club.
Yeah, the
And
hotness
I
of
never
that thing is
got it, but
ridiculous.
I'm just waiting. Like somebody will put us on staff one day, you know.
So, brother, first of all, thank you again,
Thank you,
and
man. This has
again,
been a
and again,
blast.
and again. Your story is inspirational. I'm not going to try and bust out the waterworks here or create waterworks, but as someone who knows how challenging it is to build a community, especially now as the content game evolves, I think you've done a great job. You're still honoring the ethos of the name of Group Chat Golf because it's just about the community, about the realness, the relatability. And again, you're attracting a lot of people to the game. So first and foremost, bro, thank you for that. Thank you for coming on, telling your story. We'll definitely do it again. And to wrap, obviously, we're not the only ones that have gotten to a place where we should thank people, but we do. So, and people have helped us. Like I've thanked you. If there's my list is so long, but if you want to take a moment just to, even from your parents down to your business partners, like who's been a part of your journey to help you get to where you are today?
Yeah. So obviously my group chat obviously first and foremost, anything in my life, my mom, she believes in everything I do. I don't know why. She's crazy, but she thinks I'm the best person in the world. So thank her for that. And now she's doing better than me with content. So look at that.
You're inspiring her.
Yeah,
So
right. I know. Crazy how the world works. My group chat, Chubba, believed in group chat golf since day one. I think he wrote his first blog for me about how much he liked Patrick Reed because he loves to be the heel, Chubba. Like maybe 1 month into having my account when I might have had 1,500 followers. Because I gave everybody in my group the option to come, and anybody who wanted in was in because I want everyone to win, you know.
Love that.
So Chubba, Danny, Seabass, and Khan, my podcast team and video team that help out with the content. We go on trips. We spend time in the woods together and talk, laugh. I don't laugh harder with anybody else than those guys. So I'm thankful for them. And then, like we had already talked about, everybody in the community, you, Meme Caddy, and Golfer Aid, actually, huge shout out to them because we were a little circle when we started. And we weren't big, you know, but we were helping each other out, reposting each other's stuff. And it was like, that was huge for us to get to those 10K marks. And without each other, it would have been real hard. We talked every day for a long time. And they kind of fizzled out. So I'm thinking about them still. And then Lee from Colorado Golf Blog and Travis from PGA Memes, Sean from Golf Ball. Those three have taught me the business side of it more than anything else, like how to turn this into a business. Without playing in, Travis let me play in his tournament for free, his first event. I rode with Lee from Colorado Golf Blog in it. And Lee was like, you got to have tournaments. And I saw Travis's unfold and I was like, this is definitely what we need to do. So without them, I think I would have had a tougher time figuring out an avenue of, you know, where I should take this thing. So I'm thankful for them and every other, and obviously everybody that likes, comments, follows, fucking everybody in the community, from followers to, you know, creators, everything. Without them, we would be nothing. So I appreciate every single one of them. And I appreciate you for having me on today. This is always fun to talk
Sonny,
about.
It's always fun. And I just took a trip down memory lane with you, man. And let's not wait too long to do this again, because the pace in which you're growing and the pace in which we're helping the community from our marketplace standpoint, I hope that we just keep parlaying this growth, compounding the growth, helping one another, helping the community, and we can continue to tell these stories as we both grow down the line.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Crazy. It's already been 3 years since like the start of all this, you know. Time really has flown. I don't know if it's because of COVID or what, but the time it goes, man. It's crazy. Things are just happening every day. So
it goes fast. If there's anything we can do on our side to help you and continue your growth, please let us know, bro. Please let me know personally.
We'll work together on that introducing video. We'll come up with one soon. Even if we have to record it in the office, which we'll be able to do. We'll get that thing off.
To do that, and I would love to have your help with distributing these golf balls, because we've already had a few thousand, so we need to get these out there to kids in the Northeast.
Let's do it.
Awesome, brother. Well, thank you for your time, man. We'll talk soon. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Until the next time.
Appreciate it.
Talk soon.
All right.
Later.
See ya.